So tonight, um, I wanted to talk about something that may not even really be anxiety related for some. Um, I have an anxious mind, so it could be connected, but this could just be more of a life endeavor that I've kind of gained some mindfulness on over a period of time. So I'm the kind of person who gets infatuated with ideas and things very easily. So I have a very creative mind. Uh, I've known that ever since I was a kid. And for a long time, I feel like I suppressed that. I didn't really pay it much heed. And then it's kind of interesting, like as you get older, you start to realize those things again. And and it's not even just with creativity, it's just with thoughts and experiences that it's throughout like my college years and even like my first year like out of school or first couple months out of school. I just didn't really pay a lot of attention to a lot of things that occurred in my childhood and my adolescence, and I just started connecting dots and things just kind of started making more sense. So I don't know if that's happened to any of those that choose to watch this, but anyways, kind of going back to infatuations. So right now, I'm a teacher. When I was living in DC, I worked for an IT recruiting firm. It was a job that I just wanted a job out of college, and so I just kind of threw spaghetti against a wall, and I got the first job that I got. I'm glad that I got the corporate America experience, but I knew pretty quickly on that it wasn't for me. I was there for about 4.5, 5 months, and then resigned and worked for a company that was involved in higher education for about 1.5 years. Then chose to come here to teach. But along the way, I just constantly kind of felt like I wasn't doing enough. I had these ideas of being a model. I had these ideas of producing music. I had these ideas of, even when I was here, I had these ideas. I started running. I really got into running when I came here, and I was like, I'm going to run a half marathon, and then I'm going to run a marathon. And I started just trying to immerse myself in every aspect of all of those things, like looking up marathons to run, or looking up, trying to connect with other DJs, etc., and reaching out to modeling agencies. And I remember being told when I was explaining this that, Charlie, I think your creative mind is a gift. It is. And you have a great imagination, and it sounds like you want a lot in your life. You want to live a full life. But if you try to be a teacher, a model, a DJ, a marathon runner, you're gonna just wear yourself out. Those are things that, and some people may disagree with me on this, but this kind of helped me find some solace that take one thing at a time. Right now, I'm a teacher, so I'm not going to be a teacher forever. I have 7.5 weeks left of teaching, and then I'll focus on the next chapter when the next chapter comes. And I mean, naturally, you're gonna think about like what the next chapter is gonna be before one chapter finishes. But before I get into that, if people can relate to this, to what I'm saying, to kind of feeling like you're not doing enough, that's okay. That recognize what you're doing right now. And if you're dissatisfied with what you're doing right now, then there are more opportunities. And another option could be is write down, like, what are the things you dread about what you're doing right now? What are the things that make you dissatisfied about what you're doing right now? And if it's truly making you unhappy, then, I mean, you're not a plant. You can move, you can change, you can find a new job or whatever it is you choose to do, find a new place to live, whatever it is. But and if it's an environment that's truly making you mentally unstable and it's very toxic, then that's a whole different story. I mean, I wouldn't say it was. I've been in that position where it's like I just don't see myself here at all, and I've been in that position with the job where it's like I just don't see myself here at all anymore. Nothing against the people that works there or just the company itself, but this is just not for me, and I just don't see the purpose of staying one more day here. I'm not really doing anybody here any service. But if it's something that you enjoy and you're beginning to have a hard time with it, or you're starting to kind of lose that spunk with it, you're starting to lose that motivation with it, write down the things that you dread about it, and figure out, and this is much easier said than done, but think of ways to find light in those cracks where the dread comes from. And I think with our generation, millennials, I guess, it's almost like, it almost kind of feels like, and I mean, I've felt this way a lot, that there's like a clock. Like there's a clock that's ticking that, like, I need to have this done by this amount of time. I need to have this done by then. I need to have that done by then. It's like my life needs to fit the sequence of events that are going to occur in my life need to match up at a certain time. And I've considered that clock to be another intrusive thought, where, just like I've said before, okay, you're there, you're 25 years old, you have no idea, like, I don't know what I want to do. I still am just trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm beginning to get a general idea of where my interests lie. That could develop into a career, maybe. But to be honest, I've always been kind of jealous in a way of the people, because I think we all know those people who know exactly what they want to do, and they identify it, and then they go for it, and they do everything in their power to get it. And they may know that from an early age, they may discover that in high school, they may discover that in college, but they discover that passion and they just shoot for it. And I guess what my experiences have been is that I've tried like a bunch of different things and just kind of crossed them off the list to try to figure out what I want to do. So I'll try this didn't work out, or not that it didn't work out, but this isn't my passion, so I'll try this. and then I'll try this. And I don't think there's really any wrong way to go about it. And I think that, yes, I'm a strong believer is in having that clock, like that stopwatch, that your life needs to be this sequence of the sequence of events in your life need to fit this certain clock, I guess. It all needs to match up perfectly. That's an intrusive thought. Okay, I recognize that you're here. You're 25 years old. The intrusive thought being you're 25 years old. You don't really know what you want to do. Your parents have expectations for you, but or wills for you, but you know that may not be what you want to do. And you may want to. In my case, I care about my parents, and I want to. I want them to make them happy with what I'm doing, but at the same time, adults and parent relationships change. Your relationship changes with your parents as you grow into an adult. And so I think in their defense, it can be tough seeing their child navigate life when they don't really have as much of a say. All they can really do is give their 2 cents. So, intrusive thought. You're 25 years old. You don't know what you want to do. You're here. You're sitting in the room. You're a character, whatever you may be. Make that thought. Well, first off, diffuse it rather than a what if. What if I'm 28 and I don't know what I want to do? What if I'm 32 and I don't know what I want to do? So what? There's no... Who's watching? Who's watching closely? Who is it gonna harm if you still don't know what you want to do by the time you're 30 years old? And everyone goes at their own pace. So what? Everyone goes at their own pace. So then allow that thought to enter and do what it needs to do. Then run towards it. Let it give you a panic attack. Let it give you that anxious feeling in your chest, that quenching feeling in your stomach, that fear that everything's just going to end up terrible, and then engage yourself. Write. Listen to music, exercise, anything that engages you. So I'll keep it short, and there's a quote that I found that I really resonated with, and I think it's a good way to kind of close out this video. And it's from Lighthearted Suggestion, so shout out to Lighthearted Suggestion on Tumblr. Sometimes in life, you're not going to have a clear goal. It'll seem like everyone around you knows exactly what they're doing. You may feel aimless, but you aren't. There's something special in not knowing where you are. There's something special in not knowing where your life will take you. There's possibility. Don't be scared of the unknown. Embrace it. You will find your path eventually, but right now it's okay just to wander. So hopefully that resonates and provides some reassurance, because I'm there. There have been plenty of times when I've woken up here on the other side of the world and been like, what the fuck am I doing? Where am I? And it's what's next? And I think what I wanted to get into, something to think about, is if you're in a place in your life where you're looking for change moving forward, take 10 minutes to write down what you want in the next chapter of your life, and take your logical brain out of it, and write from your heart. and your logical brain is going to bring in, well, you won't have the money to do that, or my parents may not approve of this, or like, oh, I'll be far away from my friends, or whatever. It's all circumstantial, but really try to just write it down and really try to take your logical brain out of it, and you may find some happiness and reassurance in that. So I'll cut it there. So I hope everyone has a good day. It's late here, so I'll probably turn in pretty quickly. So I will talk again soon.